Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Luis. This is a Green Zebra Gardening channel. This is a little bit out of my normal kind of video, but I figured I'd show you guys what my desk setup looks like for content creation. And I've went down the rabbit hole on YouTube long ago as to how to set my desk up and different gadgets and different things that one can use. And so I got wrapped up in all that. I have had people ask me over on Instagram on the gardening account about my desk setup and how I create all this content. I shoot all my content on my phone, my iPhone 12 Pro Max. I'm gonna go ahead and go through real quick and show you the different gadgets. Everything is linked down below in case you have any questions. I'll go ahead and link, if you go to my Amazon storefront, there's a list specifically on there for desk setup and everything. I think everything is on there. I think there's only a couple things that I didn't get from Amazon, but I'll link those. I'll leave those links below. So if you just want to go ahead and go straight down to the bottom, look at the gadgets. I'll go ahead and list them all out. Go ahead and be my guest. Do that. While you're down there, you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can go ahead and hit that bell notification, and you can go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Right before I get into that though, I also wanted to show, because on a lot of those setup videos, a lot of the stuff is PCs, and for Macs, for Macintosh, for Apple, we don't have a lot of videos because a lot of people don't, I don't know, for some reason we just don't share. There are people that use setups like this with MacBook Pros and MacBooks in general, MacBook Airs, and the laptops themselves, but I really don't ever see anything with like a Mac Mini specifically. And so that's what I wanted to show. It's just a smaller form. It's a lot smaller form factor than a standard PC, a Windows-based PC or Linux or anything else. So I just wanted to show that we are out there as far as Mac Mini owners. We just don't see a lot of it. So if you're a Mac Mini owner, let me know below. If you're not a Mac Mini owner, that's fine. Go ahead and let me know what you're using. And I think that's really it. Alright, so here we go. So we start with the desk. It is a Vivo desk, Vivo desktop. It is the, I think they just call it a walnut, or maple. It is the Vivo legs, the Vivo stand legs. I do have a laptop carrying bag down there because I have a regular day job, and they provide me a work laptop so I can work from home a few days a week. So during the day, there's actually a laptop here with the stand, and I'll put that stand below. And so then I go ahead and hook that up. But once I'm done, I clock in, or I clock out rather, then I just switch it over. So I had to figure out a way to incorporate that laptop, considering the fact that I have a Mac Mini. The Mac Mini can do the dual displays, but it's not going to take them in both as USB-C, at least not on this one. This is the M1 Mac Mini, so one has to go in DVI and then the other one has to go in USB-C. So I have the CalDigit, I can't remember what it's called. It's their dock, their USB-C dock. I think it's the Element, and so I have that dock. I'll go ahead and link it below. That dock is good for plugging in basically anything and everything that I can. Honestly, the only thing in that dock, because I switch it between the Mac Mini and the laptop I have set up over here on the left for work, is really for the monitors. So both monitors are hooked into this one, and so then that way I can use both monitors here. I know my cable management is not the greatest, but I'm trying. I actually just redid it not too long ago simply because cables were everywhere and I had to figure out a new setup and I had to figure out how to incorporate the laptop. Anyway, so the CalDigit, I have the monitors plugged into that. On the back of this monitor I have hanging an HDMI switcher. I don't know how well you can see that. Zoom in. There we go. And so we have the one that goes to that CalDigit and then the one that goes directly to the Mac Mini. So at the end of the day, I just hit the button. There's a button that switches. And so then that way I don't have to plug and unplug this monitor. And the only thing that I have to plug in or plug out is just the one USB-C port, or the one USB-C cable that goes directly to that to the Mac Mini. So it goes from there directly over to the laptop, and then it goes back. And then I just hit the one button to switch the input on this. That way it'll grab it from the Mac instead of the other one. It's just a switch, an HDMI switch. They're not monitors, but the speakers are the RT1280Ts over from Edifier. I bought a pair originally for my turntable setup because I'm a record collector, and I love them so much, and I wanted to get better computer sound I wanted to get better sound out of the computer, and the little desktop speakers I had just weren't cutting it. And so a friend had bought some of these for himself. He wasn't terribly happy with them. I love them, but he wasn't too happy. He wanted something a little better, so I offered him some money for it, and so I just ended up buying off of him. I ended up getting the Vivo speaker stands, and so it just clamps onto the desk just like the monitor arm for dual monitors, and actually the pegboard as well is also Vivo. So I have the three different things to mount stuff to the desk, except for the drawer. All Vivo, so it's all same style, and so everything, so it works cohesively together. The pegboard was, I think, the latest edition so far, and so I just happen to have some pegboard hooks, and I hang all my cables. I have my first mechanical keyboard. This is a cheap one from Amazon. I'll go ahead and link it below. I requested it as part of a gift exchange, and because I kind of wanted to test the waters with mechanical keyboards, and I kind of fell in love with it. My only issue was that I wanted a number pad for work. I ended up getting the Red Dragon wrist rest for it because it's a 60% keyboard. It does wireless, it does Bluetooth, it comes with the adapter. It's actually really cool. These are, I believe, blue switches. So I love the sound. Yes, it's RGB and everything. You can go through and cycle along them all, and it's very nice actually. But I really wanted the full size, so I upgraded to the Ponage with the full size. I have it just on blue just because that's kind of my theme. It all started because of that picture there, that piece of art. And so you can go through 10 different cycles on this. But I just went ahead and left it at blue. I haven't put on my... So I have RGB on the back of the monitors, and I also have them on the back of the back of the monitors and on the back of the pegboard. So let's zoom out here. So we have the blue. It looks better at night because everything looks better in the dark. These lights. There we go. The only thing I don't have that's RGB, because I love this mouse, is all the same mouse that you've seen in most setups, which is the MX Master 3. This is for Mac, the Mac edition. I went ahead and went with that one because the gray one just I wasn't really feeling it, and then I think they have a white one, and it just really wouldn't go with the setup at all. So let me go ahead and give you a quick sound test on this keyboard. If I remember, I'll drop in another video I did for when I originally got it. I'll turn on the light here real quick. The USB-C corded cable is from Cable Mod. I want to say it was like $20 on Amazon, so it wasn't too expensive, but it goes with that theme. I have a copy paste keyboard. I bought a copy paste keyboard for work because they came in really handy, and so I liked it so much. And for that one, that was for a PC because it's for a Windows. I think it's an HP. So I went ahead and got that one for work. But because I finally realized it, I'm gonna need it for home as well for content creation. Then I went ahead and got the deluxe one, the Mac version, with the RGB. There is no way that I found to change the colors, so it just kind of cycles through all the colors, which is fine. I also went ahead and picked up this little bad boy, so I can go ahead and this changes, obviously goes up and down, the volume goes up and down, next track, backtrack, and play. And if you press play again, then it pauses, or if you press the button down, then it does the same thing. So that's really just for my sound. Everything is being run over here to my speakers, so the sound is coming out of here, out of the Mac Mini via the headphone jack, goes directly into this, goes into the speakers, which then puts out the sound. And the speakers, like I said, they sound amazing. Of course, got a fake plant. Mom almost killed me because she loves houseplants, and we all love plants, and I can't keep a houseplant alive to save my life, and so that's why I just went with the cheap IKEA one. And that's what it looks like. And so the plant holder, so to speak, is from either Dollar Tree or the 99-cent store. I just liked it because if it's the theme, it's black. It has the cork. I do have a mic back here. This is the HiFi or HiFi. I got one of the cheap monitor arms, and you get what you pay for. I want to get a new one, but at this point, I really don't use the mic all that much. I use it sometimes for my videos. I sometimes use it for my videos to do voiceovers, but not really it. I originally bought it because I thought I was going to need it for work, for phone calls and stuff, because it's a Mac Mini and it does not have a built-in mic, and which then means I also don't have a built-in camera, which is fine. Now this is probably the second or third option I have gone through for lights. This is the Kupala. If you guys are into any tech videos and you are on here, you may have come across Random Frank P's channel. Great guy. He does a lot of tech reviews, and one of his things, this is monthly 50 desk guy just for under $50, and he loves these lights, and I agree. I ended up buying this one just based on his recommendation. It sticks onto the side, it comes off, it flips over, you tap, it has 3 different brightness levels, and if you hold it and press it, it goes through different temperatures. There's a slightly yellow one, and then there's a more yellow one. And so again, 3 different brightness levels. I love these so much, I have them everywhere. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm up to like 4 or 5. They're under $20, and you can pretty much put lights anywhere you want. Because I had a desk lamp that attached from IKEA, and it was this massive thing. It was like basically like a boom arm for your mic, and it was just horrible. And so I decided, you know what, let me just get something smaller, and then that way you can set it however you want. You can even turn them up and use them as sconces. So that's pretty much it. Now this is not the keyboard I started with. Let me grab that for you. The original keyboard I started with, which was the Logitech K860. It is a lovely beast of a keyboard. I started at work using the Microsoft version of this, which is much bigger, much bulkier. And so I got used to the split right down the middle. And so it is a very comfortable. It has a built-in wrist rest, and it's an amazing keyboard. It uses the Logitech unifying receiver, which is attached to the dock. Which, like I said, because I moved this from the Mac Mini to the laptop when I have it set up here, it doesn't really make a difference. So I just put it on there, and so that way I don't have to change anything else. So essentially, it really is just a switch. It's just the one cable, the one USB-C cable, and hit that button on that HDMI on the back, and so that way I wouldn't have to keep that unifying receiver on there, if it weren't for the mouse, but I'm not ready to give up the mouse. I would love an RGB version of this. There is a Logitech MX Master 3S, but it's not RGB. And this is really productivity mouse. That's the other question I'm gonna get. No, I don't use this really for gaming as far as the mechanical keyboard and the mouse. I am more of a controller person. And that is why I have that's an Xbox One controller, and that's the other reason I kind of went with blue. So I went with blue because of the art piece and that controller. It's my favorite Xbox controller. So that controller alone is really what I use on here. I have Steam. I have a few games on there. I've played Call of Duty Black Ops 3 that I downloaded from Steam. And then I also play if I don't want to go anywhere. So if I don't want to go into the other room where I have my gaming setup, if you guys want to see that, let me know. I can do a video on that, which is an Xbox Series S with a Nintendo Switch hooked up to a gaming monitor, a 32-inch LG. Ended up picking it up pretty cheaply for, I want to say like $200. Refresh rate on that is 175, I think, but the Xbox only outputs to 120 refresh rate. It is a 4K monitor, but with the Xbox Series S, you either get 4K or you get the higher refresh rate. And I wanted the higher refresh rate because I play a lot of Call of Duty. No, I'm not that great. I just like to get in there and mess around and have fun with it. But anyway, so originally when I set this all up, this was mainly going to be work and maybe do some content creation. But as I got more into it, I started watching videos of like what gadgets can I put on my desk, and so I went down that rabbit hole, which is what brought me to the mechanical keyboard. A friend bought it for me as a Christmas gift, fell in love with it. I started looking at other ones just because I wanted the number pad so I can replace this thing. I got the wrist rest for it, and originally after I got that smaller keyboard, I ended up finding this keycap set because I wanted the blue for sale from Ponage for I think they're having a sale for like $15 for the keycap set. So I bought that. I set them up on that partially, so it was a combination of black and blue. But then I thought that one of the keys on the keyboard stopped working, and so I was like, well, now I got to replace the keyboard because I'm not going back to this thing. So I ended up hopping onto their website, onto the Ponage website, found the full size, which is hard enough to find sometimes. I kind of want an Alice layout on this one, like this, but none of them that I found have within a reasonable price range. I'm not looking to spend $200 plus on a keyboard. None of them have a number pad, and I don't want to have to have an extra number pad next to my mouse. It just takes up too much room. So I ended up going just with this one. I ended up getting the same Red Dragon wrist rest, obviously just longer for a full size. I took off all the keys off of the blue keys off of that, put all the black ones back on there, the keycaps. This is a fully customizable keyboard from Ponage. I want to say these were $79 on Amazon. And since I already had the keycaps for it, I just swapped them out. You can fully customize this, take this completely apart. They have cases, covers, different keycaps and all kinds of stuff. I'm happy with just the blue. Think that's going to be my full, that's as far as I'm going with it. If you want to go down the mechanical keyboard rabbit hole, you can always go over to Reddit or just look them up here on YouTube. There are so many different ways to customize it in different switches and all kinds of stuff. Just so you're aware, these are blue switches. I don't know if they're Gateron or whatever, very specific. I just know they're blue switches. I like the clicky. They're not as loud as I think as that one over there, but they're still loud enough. I think these are red switches. Yeah, these are red. So these are a lot quieter. So those are a lot less loud. So once I knew that those are red and I got these are blue, I wanted something louder. So I went with the blues. But this keyboard usually just sits on the bottom over there in the corner. I just wanted to bring it up to show you guys the different options. This keyboard, when I originally bought it, I think it was about $125. I don't know what they're going for now, but I'll leave the link below. I love the keyboard once you get used to this layout, which I believe they call the Alice layout. At least that's what it's called in the mechanical keyboard side. I I love it. It's very comfortable. Your hands you don't get really tired. I started using mechanical keyboard, and that's the only thing I was afraid of, is because it wasn't split this way, and that's why I was looking at the Alice keyboards, Alice layout keyboards in the mechanical world. I said, yeah, I want it, but I don't want it, and even if I want to spend the 200 plus on it, they still don't come with a number pad, and then I have to get the number pad, and you know, that whole mess, that whole rabbit hole. Anyway, I think that's really it. I have a shredder. I got a drawer, just holds all my little stuff, you know, headphones and whatnot. This is the USB-C cable that came with that keyboard, but because I have the blue corded, then I'm good, or braided rather. And so then I also do have a card reader that's just attached with double-sided tape, just like this is, and then it connects to right behind that, right on the underside. There's a long USB hub that plugs in only to the Mac Mini, and so pretty much everything is plugged into that. And so then that way I don't have tons of cords. The only reason I even can see this cord that much on the CalDigit is because I need to have it easily accessible, so I can just pop it off, plug it into the laptop here, and then just plug it right back. But that's really it. I do like the braided being out there, so it goes with the color scheme. I also have my camera, Canon EOS Rebel T2i or T1. T2i. I've had this for quite a few years. Very good camera. And that's really it. The only other thing are my shelves, and then a little bit of everything in there. You know, just the different sides of me. But I think that's pretty much it for this video. Oh, and here, let me turn you guys around. So that's really it. The only other thing is the chair I'm sitting in. This is the IKEA. It starts with an F. I don't know what it's called. I'll link it down below. See my space heater down there. I do have a power strip on the floor, but my main power strip for everything is literally right under here. It's attached to the underside with double-sided tape. And then I have some cable raceways down there to, you know, hold everything in place. It's gotten much better. I think I'm really happy with it right now. And there's a couple cables that just kind of hang low again, just because of the setup for work where I have to plug in the laptop. So I have a Ethernet cable that goes basically from that end of the desk all the way over here, and it goes underneath, and so then that way I can just reach over here, pull it up, and plug it in here, and the USB-C, so it connects two monitors, because the laptop will do two monitors via USB-C, no problem at all. And it even powers the laptop. The power goes through the CalDigit directly into, I think it's called the CalDigit Essentials Thunderbolt 3 or Thunderbolt 4, I don't remember. But it's fantastic. Honestly, I originally bought it when I first bought everything for this setup, but I hadn't really used it because I had the other just standard USB-C, or regular USB, because most of the stuff I had was USB anyway, and so I just hooked it up under there. But it's come in clutch with the working from home, because then that way I can just plug in there. It's not a cheap hub. It is a CalDigit after all. But it has definitely been totally worth it. You don't have to get a CalDigit hub if you're in a similar situation. I'll go ahead and link a few USB hubs, or USB-C hubs and USB hubs. They're a little cheaper, and some of them you can even plug in, like say the two monitors via HDMI. The only issue I was having because I couldn't use those hubs is because I had to figure a workaround, because the Mac Mini, this is not the M2, this is the M1, the original base M1. That's the other thing. This is the M1 with the 16 gigabytes of RAM with a 512 hard drive. I do have externals plugged in, which is where I have some Steam games and just videos. I store my videos. I don't have a NAS system. I don't have a RAID system with all my equipment, or for backup rather. I probably should. But that was the main reason I couldn't do anything else. That's why I had to have the HDMI switcher on the back of this monitor here, is because this computer does not output to two monitors on the one USB-C cable. it has to be HDMI and USB-C, and so that was the only thing. So I got to the point where I figured out how to do it, and so all I had to do was take off and on the HDMI cable from one to the other. Then I realized, why not just get a switcher, and then that way all I have to do is press a button and change the one cable, and it's set, and it's good to go. But anyway, back to the chair. Alright, sorry, that kind of droned on. It all goes back to the chair. But again, the chair, but I want to be as thorough as possible, because like again, I don't see a lot of setups for Mac Minis. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff for laptops, you know, MacBooks, MacBook Pros, and you know, all that, MacBook Airs. And usually for those, either people put them on a stand, kind of like the one I have for my laptop, which I'll link below. Really awesome little stand. That way it lifts it up, and that way the screen on the laptop is the same level as my horizontal screen. So that way I'm not looking down at it, because, you know, neck pain and all. So the chair is awesome. I don't remember how much I paid for it. I'll go ahead and link if I can find it, or something similar from IKEA. I would love a Herman Miller or something like that, but I don't have $2,000 to put out. But if you can, you know, you're going to be sitting in this chair 8, 10, 12 hours a day, depending on what you're doing. For work, it's only the 8 hours, but after I get off of work, I switch a couple cables around, hit a couple buttons, and I'm set up to do content creation. But anyway, the chair is awesome. It's really comfortable. I haven't had any issues with it, except for like I explained with the drawer, but again, that's my own fault. The only thing that I'm still waiting on right now, there's been a little bit of a delay, is a new desk pad. Because I have this design, the hexagons. I wanted to get a desk pad. I'll go ahead and link the standard black one I have below. It is one of the bigger ones that I have found, and it wasn't too expensive. It was under 20 bucks, and it was on Amazon, and it's been really, really good. The only reason I'm swapping it out is because I found one from TechSource. If you guys are in the space, you know who he is, Ed. He has his own mouse pads, and desk pads rather. So I think the latest release from his newest season of Desk Wars or Setup Wars is a black one with the hexagons all over him, and so he has a hexagon in blue, so I kind of had to get it just to finish us off. But this desk pad, I did a setup for my mom where it's just a 24-inch monitor with a Vivo stand to hold up the monitor. My sister brought over her desk because she got a newer one, a bigger one, because this one is too small. Said, hey, bring it over, we can set it up for mom. We'll get her monitor on, we'll get her a 24-inch, because she doesn't want, these are 27-inch monitors. I'll link all that below too. She wanted a 20, she didn't want something as big as mine, because she doesn't need anything that big, and she really only uses it for her time cards for work and maybe browse the internet a little. And I had a Chromebook lying around, and so I gave her that, because she's been doing all her browsing and stuff on her phone. And that's just, it's just not conducive, and it's a pain, and it's, regardless of how big the phone is, it's still not that big. So I went ahead and set it up, and so that one, if you guys want to see that, she has a lot of stuff on it right now. So if you guys want to see that setup, it's going to be very simple. I'm going to give her the desk pad that I have here. That way it covers up most of the desk, and that way it doesn't end up getting it scratched. But that's a very simple setup, and you know, I'll go ahead and link all the stuff for her below, and I'll link the 27-inch monitor. For that one, sorry, 24. For that one, it was on sale, so that's the only reason I got it. But that one does not have a VESA mount, so I had to buy an adapter from, I want to say, Simple Human. So I bought the adapter for that specific monitor. That way it can be used as a VESA mount, or it can technically add a VESA mount to the monitor. The adapter was like 20 bucks, so it wasn't, even with the price of the monitor, it still wasn't a very expensive monitor. It's not a gaming monitor, it's a very basic one, and that's really all she needs. She might watch YouTube, listen to some music. I may need to get her some speakers though, because I don't think she has speakers over there. And the ones on the Chromebook, they're not gonna fly. I did get her a very basic keyboard, a Logitech, I don't remember what it is, I'll link it below. But it's a keyboard mouse combo for like 20 bucks on Amazon as well. So that way she doesn't have to use the one on the Chromebook. But at anyway, she can always just swap out the Chromebook if she wants to get a new one, or she wants to get a Surface tablet, or just another computer in general. She has just a regular HDMI. Anyway, I don't know how long this video is going to be. I'm hoping to keep it short, concise, and to the point. But I also wanted to give you guys all the information that I wish I would have had, especially the one with the whole figuring out the additional workaround, or the workaround for, you know, being able to add the extra laptop or the extra computer. Specifically with the M1, just because of that, the new M2s, I think you can plug them in via USB-C individually, and so then that way you don't have to do the workaround with it. But I'll go ahead and include everything below. And I don't see a lot of Mac Mini setups. I see Mac Mini reviews, you know, the M1s, the M2s, the M2 Ultras, and the Pro. I don't remember what they're calling it now. The professional level M2 Mac Mini, the one that just came out. So I kind of wanted to throw my hat in there and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. If you guys have any questions on any of this stuff, let me know in the comments. I love looking at tech gadgets. I'm not all about gardening. I do record collecting, I do gardening, I do content creation, obviously. I'm a real techie. I don't like to spend a whole ton of money. I'm just going to go with the stuff I need, the essentials. I am a gamer, so again, if you guys want to see that video on that overview, it's really simple. It's not hard. But I'll go ahead and link everything below from the desk itself. And I said, again, I have the list over on my Amazon storefront of everything that's on here, except for maybe the plant, because it was IKEA, and the pot holder, or the pot that it's in. But everything else is all on there. I will go ahead and end it here. Go ahead and hit that bell notification. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up, and go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you're more into gardening. I don't know how much more tech I'm going to be doing, unless people want to see a more in-depth review, or if they want me to let them know something. I may do one, but I may do one for the gaming setup, and I may do one for mom setup, just to give you a simpler version of all of this. But I think that's it. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace. Really quick, this is usually what I have my phone on. I didn't show it to you because I wanted to show you what the phone looked like on it. Obviously I can't, because that's what I'm shooting on, but this is it. I'll go ahead and link it below as well. I think this was cheap, and I like it just because it's black. It's simple. I can have the phone on there, and I can have the cable coming out of the bottom, and you can obviously do it horizontal or vertical. Doesn't make a difference. But this one folds up or folds down, and you can slip it in a bag, whatever. But that's usually what my phone is on during the day.